I expected Friday morning to be a bit of an anticlimax. All the fuss, all the false arguments that were thrown around. I thought that we'd wake up Friday, we'd crept across the line, but having learnt some really important lessons about the way we do economic development, the way we protect our public services that form the basis for the Brexit's attack on who we are. And I thought that what we could do is have a talk with our business community, our big institutions in Bristol, and we'd be in a fantastic position to talk about doing our economic development in a much more inclusive way, tackling inequality, tackling poverty, making sure we build a coherent Bristol identity and remain a tolerant, international, outward-looking city. Unfortunately, Friday morning was not an anticlimax, and it's one of those things. I was talking to some friends just now and just saying, I think people are just coming to terms with the scale of the decision that's been made and the cost, the price we're going to pay for it. I think one of those prices is that we, as a country, lies won, and it was a lie. Okay. I was so irritated is a very minor word for this, but to have a group of privileged, rich, aristocratic class people coming along and telling marginalised people who've been left behind that they should not look at inequality, they should not look at social mobility, but they should look at migrants as the cause for their problems is morally bankrupt. I've been talking to people I know that were going to vote Leave, and I said, surely you can open your eyes to that. Any politics from any part of the spectrum that leaves relatively powerless people blaming other relatively powerless people for why their lives are the way they are is both politically and morally bankrupt. And that's what's taken over. And we know there was dog whistling going on there, right? We know there was racial dog whistling going on there because in my circle of friends and family, we know that it's making people feel uncomfortable right now. I would say though, on the other side, I had a message from a friend of mine, a German friend of mine, just last night, and he said, Marvin, do you want to come to Berlin and speak as a city that voted to remain? And it was such a proud moment for me. I said, absolutely. It'd be really nice if a couple of you would come with me, actually. I'll put a list at the back. We can take names. You want to come? All right. You're on. I'll wear your hat. So while this is a desperate time, and I think those people watching, listening to radio and following news Sunday morning could not have escaped the enormity of the decision that's been made, at the same time, there's something very special, I think, that we can stand in Bristol, in that we voted to remain, and I think it is a statement about the city that is all the more amazing and all the more incredible because we went against the national tide and we went against it so strongly. So I want to thank you, not just as the mayor, but as a kid who grew up in this city, the child of Jamaican migrants and Welsh migrants who came here looking for work. Thank you. I just want to say, just in terms of what I'm going to be doing, I know there's talk about London working with Scotland and how we begin to forge our place in the world as an international city. And I just want to say that me, working with the people in this building, working with people from any institution and with civil society, voluntary sector, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be proactively reaching out, both in terms of reaching out to London and other places that are saying we want to make a statement that we are still open for business. We'll be reaching out to other cities and city regions. I had a trip that was that's scheduled to go to Brussels, and people are saying maybe we should cancel the trip. I said absolutely not. Now more than ever, we need to be going out over and making sure that people know we exist and we're here and we want to do business. So thank you. And I'm sure many of you will see, thank you to that person, if you are here, that put the the bucket with the flowers for migrants and refugees. Are you here? Can I just see a hand? Are they here, actually? I think that was... No? Anyone put their hand up? That was amazing, right? And I love it that that went around everywhere. So thank you for the statements we'll make. Please back us as we continue to reach out to the world and make sure people know we're open for business. And we'll also be making our statement to central government on what we need for Bristol to be able to flourish in the vacuum that they've left us in. The vacuum that had no plan, no plan. That is horrific, the disservice they've done to the people of this country. Thank you all for being here today.